The needs, I think, that has been identified within rural Scotland, as it has right across Scotland, is the need to build housing. Can I ask the Cabinet Secretary, is there a specific rural programme in place for housing? Does he recognise that if we want to drive the rural economy, we need to be able to give workers houses, so there's a shortage there? And does he accept that if we want to create jobs in the rural economy and more skills, then a mass national house building programme would play a major role in that?
Fergus.
Well, I'm very sympathetic to the points that the member makes, indeed, and I absolutely appraised and agree that we do need to match jobs and people and housing. And indeed, I'm well aware from my own part of Scotland that, you know, in places such as Aviemore, some people have been able to get a job, but not a house. And therefore, they've maybe moved in, Mr. Rowley, to temporary accommodation, but haven't been able to find a place to take their family to live. So that's just one example, but I think he makes a very good point.
In near enough every community across Scotland, one of the greatest needs is housing. The lack of housing, we have record housing waiting lists with councils and other housing associations. And there is no plan for a 15-year to 20-year housing building programme, and that's, I think, what we need if we're going to tackle Scotland's housing crisis. But there are clear links to your brief, Cabinet Secretary, because if we had that sort of 10 to 20-year programme in place, you're talking about thousands upon thousands of apprenticeships and tens of thousands of jobs. When I asked the Fergus Ewan about the rural economy the other day in housing, he actually linked it specifically to, if you're going to attract workers to come here and migrate here, you need to have the housing for them. So it just seems to me there's a whole joined up or not joined up approach to this that's there. Do you see housing as an economic development opportunity, and do you think that a 15 to 20-year housing build programme will create tens of thousands of sustainable jobs?
So I do think that a 20-year programme is important. It's why we are developing our Housing 2040 programme. I'm not the housing minister, as you reflected, and neither am the infrastructure secretary. But what I can tell you is I've had 2 meetings, even in recent weeks, about the 2040 housing programme, which is exactly the proposal that Alex Rowley is referring to. He might not be aware about the 2040 housing project, so I'm quite happy to ask my officials or in the relevant department to share it with him.